about an hour-and-a-half drive from Foxwoods Resort and Casino. So you see it as more defense versus offense tonight.
No, I do. I mean, look, in all fairness, Lewis isn't exactly a bull in a china shop. He's just going to walk in and knock things over. He thinks a little bit. He picks his spots a little bit, but he's going to be the aggressor, and Dog is going to be the counterpuncher.
Tony, Karl, you received your instructions in the dressing room. I want you to protect yourself at all times. Above all, obey my commands at all times. First command is right now, touch gloves. And the bell rings box.
Karl Dynamite Dargan, nicknamed Dynamite because he said back in the day he fought like Mike Tyson. Came rushing in, looking for a power punch, one-punch knockout. He certainly evolved since then, become more defensive-oriented, a counterpuncher, but the nickname stuck. In fact, if you go around Philadelphia gyms right now, you ask for Karl Dargan, they may not know who you're talking about, but if you ask for Dynamite, they'll point you in that man's direction. He's wearing black and gold trunks, taking on Tony Lightning Lewis in the camo.
Both fighters orthodox, in the righty stance, but Lewis naturally lefty. He'll switch back and forth a little bit. For me, his dominant hand, of course, he's naturally lefty. That would be his left hand. So, for me, his best punch for Lewis would be his left hook.
Dargan, not known as a power puncher, 17-0, 9 knockouts, but he does have 3 consecutive knockouts, Teddy. Do you see him sort of evolving now into that type of power puncher?
When you get confidence, you start to sit down a little bit. You start to see things in the ring. First of all, your timing gets better. When your timing's better, your power's better because you land the cleaner shots. Shots that guys don't see. You don't have to be, George Foreman then. So again, it's all about seeing things, getting calm. Like the other athletes say, the game's slowing down. And when you start to get to where Dargan's trying to get to, things slow down in the ring for you. You see things a lot better. And that's where he's at. And when you're sitting down and you're calm, yeah, you're going to be more effective in every way. One of them would be power, too. But you can see the defensive moves of Dargan and the aggression of Lewis. Lewis has lost twice, Todd, when he has moved up to a higher level of talent. And, of course, he's moving up again tonight. So figure that out as I put it there.
Good counter punch a few moments ago by Dargan.
Lewis was cut by head clash 2 fights ago. He is aggressive.
Nazim Richardson, the trainer for Karl Dargan, said that Lewis won't back down. He's always in shape. Said that he likes to lead with his head like Timothy Bradley does.
I don't know about that, but he has been involved, as I just said a moment ago, in head clashes. And Dargan, for me, Dargan seems to cut opponents with his punches. Seems to get a certain snap, a certain torque on his punches that causes some lacerations. See that right hand? You missed it, but I don't know. We'll see a replay. Maybe our guys will catch it later. But just a minute ago, Dargan used his right hand to catch that jab to the body of Lewis. He dropped it, just like I talked about in the fight plan. If Lewis's corner or Lewis himself could see that, there it is again. That right hand of Dargan, he drops it to catch it. And that's, that's getting out of place. That's, you're chasing again. And when you're chasing, there's nobody home. If Lewis takes advantage of that, like we talked in the fight plan, gives a little fake down there, there's going to be nothing up top.
Quickly, how do you defend a jab to the body then without exposing your head?
You use your elbow. You don't drop your hand. The elbow is there to protect without leaving your head open. Or you use your legs to step out.
A good jab there by Dargan. Round 1, done.
Fight plan, we'll take a look here. Lewis throws the jab to the body, and look at that right hand of Dargan. Reaches down to block it. Watch again. Reaches down to block it. Lewis should have looked at tape maybe the way I looked at tape and realized that habit is there. Have it stay with you. They don't develop the night of the fight. They're there from the gym. Lewis probably and his people maybe should have done a little bit more homework, a little bit more tape work, like Belichick and Pete Carroll are doing, getting ready for the Super Bowl, to see that tendency. Because if they were aware of that tendency, they could have taken advantage of it already.
Maybe he was just listening to Mr. Miyagi and Karate Kid, the wax on, wax off defense. Round 2 of Schedule 10. Karl Dynamite Dargan out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Grew up in the gym watching Bernard Hopkins, Sugar Mosley train. Some big names. And Hopkins, one of Dargan's biggest supporters.
And you're attached to your temperament. And the talent of Dargan, he has talent, is attached to his temperament. He's careful, he's thoughtful.
He looks cool, calm, and collected in this.
He's a defensive-minded guy. That's what he is. And that's how he's going to try to make his living.
Dargan is engaged to Lil Mo, also known as Cynthia Young. She stars in the R&B Divas LA reality show. Teddy, I know you're a big fan of that. So he likes to live the glam life as well.
Okay. Well, right now he's living a careful life. He's on the outside, you know, staying out of range, trying to control range, looking for spots to take advantage maybe of a little reckless aggression or lose. That's what he's looking to do. Dargan is a sharpshooter. You know, he's a guy that only fights in spots. He doesn't like to waste much. And he's a sharpshooter. When he does shoot at you, it's usually that. Straight, concise, and with a little snap. Dargan's best punch, probably that right uppercut or counter right hand over the top of a jab. Look for that right uppercut maybe in here. And watch that head of Lewis. I see a little billy goat in there. That's called riding with a punch. You know, and you can see Dargan has pretty good eyes in there. He's looking, and if he doesn't slip or block a punch, he's looking to ride it. Go with it. Pull away from it.
Would Lewis like this fight to stay there in close quarters in a phone booth the whole time?
Yeah, but the only reason it's there, Dargan wants it there right now. Dargan thinks that he can do something inside some of those shots. He thinks that he can counter in between maybe one of the wider shots of Lewis. Lou DiBella said it right. Boxing did lose a little color, one of its Damien Runyon type characters that boxing is famous for. And Kushner was that kind of character and did add that kind of fun and color to the sport.
Had some great fighters under his watch as well. You saw him on the screen there. We're in round 3 of the Scheduled 10. Both Dargan and Luis have only been a full 10 rounds once. Lewis, excuse me, have been a full 10 rounds once in their career.
Lewis has been knocked out one time. Most of the fights for Lewis, you touched on it, in Canada. 15-0 in Canada. 3-2 in the United States. And knocked out one time in those 3-2.
And wait a minute, Dargan goes down. They're saying it's a slip. Lewis says, wait, I got it.
Again, Lewis obviously has liked the fighting up north a lot better than he has in the United States.
And Lewis's fight against Ivan Redcash 2 fights ago, Redcash's glove touched the canvas in the first round. That wasn't ruled a knockdown, and it should have been. And Lewis felt like he should have gotten a decision there. Let's see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll take a look at that possible knockdown coming up later. Now Lewis perhaps smells some blood in the water. He's trying to get right in there on Dargan again.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I think that Dargan might have gotten a gift by not being down right now in 2 points. He might have gotten away with, the referee may have missed one. We'll see it after this round. But again, you touched on it earlier, Lewis is where he wants to be. You know, taking the legs away from Dargan, taking some of his speed away, and taking some of his dimensions away. There's no dimensions when you're against the ropes. There's only one dimension. You can block, you can slip, you can look to counter in between a little bit. But that's it. You can't use the ring. You can't get angles. You can't have space that you want to throw a nice shot as a guy comes in maybe a little reckless. Right now, Dargan helping out Lewis, the underdog in this fight, by laying on the ropes. You know, we talk about geography all the time. I joke around sometimes. I say fighters should, you know, sometimes they should go to a real estate broker before they fight, you know, and find out about location. Because it's all about location. And Lewis has the location he wants. In close with Dargan trapped on the ropes.
When we return, we'll take a look at that controversial slip/knockdown.
The referee missed one. Left hook right on the chin. And then no, his leg goes up. Why does his leg go up? Because he got hurt. Because his nerves reacted. It was a knee-jerk reaction. Watch. Left hook, bang. His leg goes up. He's hurt. He gets pushed down a little bit. Referee was out of position. Referee made a mistake there. Should have been a 10-8 round.
Instead, it'll be 10-9. We don't know which way, but it was certainly the best round for Lewis.
You know, you get hit. Sometimes your body does funny things. Your leg jumped up in the air, you know, and he got hit. His leg jumped up in the air. And the second punch he blocked, but the first one landed really clean. That should have been a knockdown. And again, it's up to the referee to be in position. I mean, he has a job to do in there. And part of his job is being in the right position. You know, I talked about location earlier, about location, location, location. And I talked about the fighters in the ring having to be in the right location. Lewis wants to be close. Dargan, I think, needs space to be at his best, to use his hand speed, to be able to counterpunch the way he wants, to be able to allow Lewis room to make a mistake. So it's about location, but it's about location with the ref, too. The referee has to be in position to see what's going on. He wasn't in position that last round.
To be fair, as Dargan was falling down, you could see Lewis put both his hands on the back of Dargan, so at the end, it sort of looked like a push down.
No, but you got to see that punch, that initial punch. That's what counted, and you never saw that.
In his last fight, Dargan was knocked down against Angino Perez, got off the canvas to win that fight via knockout. Dargan technically did not get knocked down in round 3, but he is in a little bit of trouble.
I think Dargan, again, I said it earlier, I think his best punch is the right uppercut. He's going to get an opportunity maybe to put that punch to good use with Lewis, who leans forward a little bit on the inside. And Lewis being a little shorter.
Good left hand.
Yeah, well, that's the best punch for Lewis. Again, he's a natural lefty, so that left hand is dominant hand.
Lewis is turning into a bully here against Dargan. Pushing him back, staying inside, more active, landing bigger shots.
Little subtle things by Lewis inside, turning. He just took his right glove and he turned the elbow of Dargan just to turn him a little bit out of position so he could hit him, and Dargan couldn't hit back. Little subtle moves, little smart things. Again, there it is again. Just a little move by Dargan. Little move by Dargan on the inside, I should say by Lewis. Takes the left elbow of Dargan with his right glove, turns it a little bit, and what's it do? It gets Dargan out of position and Lewis in position to score. This is the Lewis's fight. This is a big upset so far. Only muscle, it's the sweet science. Watch this little move right here. See how he turns him? He takes his elbow and Lewis turns him and positions Dargan where he could get off. And then later on, gets off again. And then at the end of the round, well, Lewis, the underdog, he's trying to send a message there. I'm not intimidated by you. I'm not intimidated by your 17-0 record, by your 3 national titles that you won in the amateurs. Tonight, I'm here to show you what I have.
For the first time as a pro, Lewis said his wife is not here in person cheering him on. She's 8 months pregnant. They will deliver a son next month. Lewis is dedicating tonight's performance to his unborn son. I said, talk about a lot of pressure, Teddy. You can't bring your kid in this world with a loss already on his record, can you?
No, it's not allowed. somewhere. And there again is the right glove. What's that right glove inside of Lewis? See, there he goes again. He just turns. He's got the better position right now because he turned Dargan. Sweet science, baby.
Believe it or not, Dargan has a substantial amount of fan support here from Philadelphia, but they haven't made much noise because Lewis has been the boss so far. We're in round 5 of a scheduled 10, and if Dargan does have a plan for fighting inside, we'd sure like to see it because so far it hasn't been so good.
Give credit to George Lewis, the father of Tony Lewis, for teaching him those little subtle things on the inside.
Karl, let go.
There's our scorecards. Teddy has it 3 rounds to 1. So do you, scoring on our Facebook page. But Lewis doesn't trust the judges. He says he trusts no one in the sport of boxing except the guys in his corner.
Good left hook by Lewis. That's his best punch again. Goes the body, goes upstairs, he doubles it up. A little bump and run there. Little bump and run. Little bump with the shoulder by Lewis. Again, little subtle things. Bumped it with the shoulder there. And then he got a little space, and then he punched.
Well, Teddy, it's no surprise. We all expected Lewis to be right in Dargan's face, throw a lot of punches, never take a step back. But why hasn't Dargan been able to do anything about it?
He's never been in this kind of fight. He's being tested. Maybe we're seeing him tested in a way that he's not ready for. Maybe we're seeing something inside him that we never had a chance to see before. We're going to find out. He's going to find out about himself tonight, and so are we. Good work by Lewis. All Lewis on the inside. This is Lewis's domain. He wants to be there. He's exactly where he wants to be.
Don't punch. Time.
Getting the job done.
Come on.
Okay, take a look at the bump and run. We're going to see a replay right here I was talking about. Watch the left shoulder. A little bit of a bump. Right there. Bump. And then run with the punch. Little space created. And then Lewis goes to work. Little bump with that left shoulder.
And now it's time for Teddy to take us inside the ropes.
You want to create a little room on the inside? He's squishing you a little bit, jamming you a little bit. Well, not exactly Marcus or Queensberry rules, but not dirty either. Just take advantage of a situation if you can. Make sure the referee's not over there. Make sure he's over here. He doesn't see it. He might stop you. But you're in here with your shoulder. Need a little room. Just a little bump. Little bump. Get a little separation. Bang, bang, and run. It works.
And it's been working so far for Lewis, who, despite being a 7-1 underdog, right now, it seems, is in control here in our main event. Big left hand turned into a windmill shot, bunch of air, but not much else. And Dargan, wearing the gold and black trunks, needs to find an answer, needs to be more active, and he needs to do it now.
Very simple for Lewis. Tucks up real tight, gets in close where he can take some of those elements, some of the talent away from Dargan. You know, he can take that space away where he can counter punch on the outside. You know, Dargan, you would think, would want space where Lewis maybe could get a little reckless with his aggression, reach in a little bit, and Dargan can have a little space with those quick hands. But by allowing Lewis to stay close to him, there's none of those opportunities there for him. There's no space for Lewis really to make mistakes. And for Dargan really to use his speed. Now it's more of a physical fight inside, not about speed so much. Now it's about bumping. It's about grinding. You know, it's about little turns and subtle things like Lewis is doing right now. Lewis doing a great job again. Tripling up that left hook. One downstairs, 2-3 upstairs. And then a little head movement at the right time. Moving after his last punch to make sure that he doesn't get caught.
Tony, keep him up.
In other words, Lewis not taking a picture after he punches.
And you can see Lewis holding Dargan's left arm down with his right hand. And I'm not sure what the game plan is here for Dargan.
Again, I'm going to say it again. Listen, you find out about people in that square circle, that chamber of truth that I say sometimes. You find out what's inside somebody. Lewis is finding out what's inside Dargan. Maybe there's nothing inside him. Maybe there's great talent and speed when he has his way. But when he doesn't have his way, maybe he doesn't have that ability to dig down. We're going to find out. Lewis wants to find out.
And if Dargan is hoping that Lewis will quit throwing punches, it's not in his DNA. It's all he knows. Stand there and just let your hands go.
Lewis is not just in position to pull off an upset, winning a fight. He's dominating over the undefeated Dargan.
Let go of each other.
And look at the way he turns him. Again, keeps doing it. Turns him a little bit, gets Dargan a little out of position, keeps position where he can work. And watch the legs of Lewis, too. Little subtle movements every once in a while when he needs to. When he needs to step to the side. When he needs to step back a little bit. Watch, he goes back, he steps back, he gives himself a little room where he doesn't get pushed back, where now he can work. Little move to the side again by Lewis. Tonight, at 37 years of age. You know, sometimes it's better just to get hit that one shot and you're out of there instead of taking shots for 4 rounds. Lacey took shots for 4 rounds. I don't think that Lacey should be allowed to fight again until he's really tested by commissioner doctors.
You're watching our main event. Tony Lightning Lewis, a big underdog, 7-1, taking on undefeated Karl Dynamite Dargan. I asked Lewis yesterday if he thought that Dargan would one day be a champion or fight for a championship. And Lewis said, yes, he's that good, but he's not going to fight anytime soon for a title because I'm going to beat him on Friday night. And so far, that looks like the game plan is working perfectly because Lewis, outside of perhaps round number 1, has almost pitched a shutout.
You know, sometimes there's things out there that we don't look at. We see 17-0. Wow, okay. But we don't look at Lewis. Yeah, he's lost twice, but he's been in tough fights. He's been in real fights where Dargan has it. And he is tonight. And he might not be prepared for what he's facing tonight. Also, maybe an ominous sign. If you look into the history of Dargan, he won a split decision over an 8-5-5 opponent and was on the floor in that fight. Well, he's not in with an 8-5-5 opponent tonight.
Many of Dargan's traveling fans from Philly are screaming jab, box him on the outside, but apparently Dargan either doesn't want to or simply can't do that.
Dargan was on the floor in his last fight. He's been on the floor twice in his career.
I talked about Vasily Girov and James Toney fighting in this very building. One of the fights of the year. I believe it was the fight of the year. And that fight at least sort of looked like this, where they were both standing in there shoulder to shoulder, fighting on the inside, just throwing tons of punches. Teddy's scorecard, you've got it as an upset. Lewis 59, Dargan 55. And Dargan just has to be more active. He's not known for his knockout power, 9 KOs in 17 fights.
No, but to be more active, I'm going to put something before that statement. To be more active, he's got to get off the ropes. He's got to be in a better place, a better position to be more active. There's that little head movement I talk about. You know, Lewis doesn't take pictures. After he punches, at the right time, he moves his head and makes a miss.
14 knockouts in the middleweight division, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. And Dargan's corner a little more happy with what they saw last round, but they want him to come at different angles.
No.
And that's incorrect, by the way. This is not the last round.
10 rounds. 10 rounds. Let's go.
This is round 8 of 10.
Cutting the ring down there, Lewis now. Doing everything he needs to do. All of a sudden, Dargan decides to use his legs. What does Lewis do? He cut the ring down, shrunk the ring, and got back to work.
Nazim Richardson, the trainer for Dargan, told us that the best attribute that Dargan has is his intelligence, Teddy.
I don't know how intelligent it is to lay on the ropes for 7 rounds.
Let go.
6 rounds. So he's going to start showing me a different part of that intelligence that I've seen so far.
Let go of him.
You're fighting an aggressive guy, a little short, stocky guy like Lewis. I don't think he should be laying on the ropes too much. Now Dargan is sensing and feeling the urgency and starting to look to work in between with big power shots, looking to hurt Lewis. He might, I'll tell you, Dargan might be in a position now, so far behind the 8 ball, that he needs to land the power shot, needs to hurt Lewis to stem the tide of this fight.
Dargan's left hand is being held down around his waist, meaning the right hand of Lewis continues to just catch the jaw of Dargan over and over again, right there.
And again, the little sweet science stuff inside. Dargan every once in a while, or Lewis every once in a while, turning Dargan. He turned him again. Takes that right elbow and just turns it.
The crowd chanting, Tony! They've come down from Cornwall, Ontario to root on their man.
You see the punches, but there's the bump and run again. And a smart move by Lewis. He knew the referee was on the other side. What did he do? He bumped and ran a little. Bumped him with his shoulder. Got a little space to punch. He won't do it now because the referee's on that side. That means, that's telling me Lewis is aware of all surroundings.
And what is Dargan complaining about? He's saying either was poked in the eye or headbutted.
I didn't see any of that.
I didn't either, but it gave him a reprieve that perhaps he needed. And now Lewis going right after him.
Yeah, Lewis knows what time it is. In his mind, he knows what time it is. You know what time it is? It's time to find out about Dargan. Maybe the first time he's ever been in a real fight. What's inside him? Head right there. Little Billy Golden, both guys in there with the head. We said it right at the beginning. Lewis has been involved in headbutts. That's his style. He gets in there a little bit, bang the heads. Maybe that's why Dargan was saying that he couldn't see for a second. I think, for me, Dargan just hasn't been in this kind of fight before. And he's been shaken up by the reality of this kind of fight. And now he's got 2 rounds to get it unshaken and get going and pull it out of the fire, because he's in the fire right now. I mean, he really is. And for me, he needs a knockout, or at least a couple knockdowns to pull this fight out and stay undefeated.
Lewis felt he was robbed 2 fights ago against Ivan Redkach, but the judges didn't give him the decision that he deserved. And you can see he's not resting on his laurels, Ted. He's going right after Dargan again here in round 9.
Well, that's his style. I mean, if he fought any other way and there was space and he started showboating, that's not his style. That wouldn't serve him. This serves him. In the grill, in the kitchen, going to work. And again, taking some of the abilities, some of the talents that Dargan have, take it away. Take some of the speed away, make it more physical. Take some of his counterpunching ability away. Give him no space to counterpunch.
The game plan has been a disaster for Karl Dargan by any stretch of the imagination. Whatever it was he was trying to do, he hasn't done. Lewis has just been peppering him to the body and the head for most of the 9 rounds we've had here.
Yeah, Nazim Richardson, the trainer for Dargan, I mean, he can't be too happy with what he's saying. On the other side, I said it earlier, George Lewis, the father and trainer of Lewis, has to be obviously very happy. And there's a little head movement at the right time again by Lewis.
And when Dargan throws punches, they usually land. He just hasn't thrown them. Another headbutt, it looked like there from Lewis.
When a guy has more speed than you, what do? You can push him up against the ropes, fight him in a phone booth, tight quarters, eliminate the use of some of that speed. And that's what Lewis has done. Dargan trying to counter in between in spots, trying to counter with a cleaner shot, a big shot, a telling shot. But you know what? At this point, he needs more than a shot.
Nice uppercut there by Lewis. It's been there all night long. If Dargan was hoping that Lewis would tire, he can keep hope alive all he wants to, but it ain't happening. We're going to stay here between rounds and listen to the corners, the final instructions for the fighters as they get ready for the last 3 minutes of what has been a bruising encounter in our main event.
That should be another one in the bag.
Bend over.
Bend over. You got 1 round to go. You got 1 round to go, baby. 1 round to go. 1 round to go, and we cracked the top 10. They can't take goal. Give them no choice, Tony. They can't take it from you. Don't get careless. Keep that fence around your house. Move your head. Don't get careless. Okay? He's gonna come for broke. He's got nothing.
Take a cross-out step on him. Take a quarter step around. And then you have the space you need.
At the final round, we're gonna touch him out.
Can we keep his head off him?
Come on. You're asking. Do your job.
I need your space. You need your space, and you can get your knockout.
Well, hopefully the father of Lewis, you just heard him, hopefully for their sake, he's right that they can't take this away from us. Because we've seen in this business, as much as it bothers us, we've seen some horrendous decisions, and we've seen some terrible robberies, and we've seen judges take away fights from fighters that earned the fight. Hopefully that's not the case tonight.
One of the most egregious we've seen recently was in December right here in Friday Night Fights. Tyson Cave was robbed. But you could hear Dargan's corner telling him, listen, you need a knockout. Create some space and get it. Round 10 of 10. Karl Dynamite Dargan, a future world champion if you ask Bernard Hopkins, who grew up watching Dargan train as a youngster. 17-0, 9 knockouts, but Tony Lewis had other plans.
And that's that turn again. Lewis made a little turn, took that elbow, and turned Dargan where he got him out of position where he could work a little bit. Watch the legs of Lewis. I know we're watching the punches, but watch the legs, the feet of Lewis. He'll take a little step back. He'll step back, keep his position, so he's ready to punch again. Instead of getting pushed back and smothered where he can't work, he feels the pressure of Dargan, and when he feels the pressure, he gives a little ground. He takes little steps and keeps position again. Takes little steps back so he can keep position and doesn't get out of position. Now he can work again.
Let go of each other.
Oh, maybe a knockdown right there. Looked like a knockdown. Referee wasn't sure, but now he is sure. All those left hooks banging and banging and banging. Lewis finally got the result he wanted.
And now Lewis thinks he can finish it here in round 10. What an exclamation point this would be.
Yeah, but he better not get a little greedy. He better not get careless and throw one too many or one a little too fat, where he gives Dargan a chance to do the only thing he could do now and pull lightning out of the sky by punching in between. And Dargan just tried it a minute ago. Tried to punch in between the left hook with the right hand. That's Dargan's only shot now. Watch. Right there. He's looking to throw the right hand in between the left hook. You see it there, Todd?
Absolutely. He's got 25 seconds to land that punch, and it better be a doozy.
Yeah, he's looking for the right hand. That's his best punch. The uppercut or the straight right. Dargan's looking to throw it at the right time. In between, he's hoping a fat hook of Lewis.
So there you have it. Tony Lightning Lewis. His corner thinks he won, and even Karl Dargan himself is walking over, congratulating him on what seems to be a lock victory.
Yeah, give Dargan credit, showing class there. Watch the left hooks there. Looked like maybe it slid on the back of his head. We'll take another look at that. First, there was one underneath. There's the right uppercut in there. Left hook downstairs. The left hook upstairs, a little bit behind the head. We'll take another look. I think it might have been just a tiny bit behind the head. Take another look here. Yep, little behind the head. Not on purpose, but was behind the head a little bit. Referee was in good position. He was right there. And down goes Dargan. First it was the body shot, then upstairs.
Has Tony Lewis picked up the biggest win of his career? It seems so, but we'll find out officially when Friday Night Fights returns. This Friday Night Fights is presented by Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. And in part by Papa John's, official pizza sponsor of Super Bowl 49. Coming up next, it is Sports Center, but we've got some things to tend to here at the Fox Theater first. Teddy's scorecard, 99-90. He has the big underdog, Tony Lightning Lewis, winning. As for those of you scoring at home, the same way, 9 rounds to 1. There's Tony Lewis's father celebrating, but is it premature? Let's get the official decision.
Better not be.
Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 bruising rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge at ringside, Robert Paolino, scored the bout 97-92. Judge Steve Weisfeld tallied 99-90, and Judge Glenn Feldman saw it at 97-92. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision. And the new Continental America's lightweight champion in the red corner, Tony Lightning Lewis.
Oh, in the past, he hadn't done too good when he went south. But you know what? He did pretty good tonight, winning here in the United States. Now he can go back north, and it's going to feel pretty comfortable.
He's going to feel great. He's got a baby boy coming next month. He dedicated tonight's performance to his son, so he'll come out a winner. Congratulations to Tony Lewis. Coming up next, it's Sports Center for Teddy Atlas, Bernardo Osuna, Brian Campbell, and the entire Friday Night Fights crew.